Your lender just approved you for $350,000. That number is not a budget. It's based on math that doesn't know your life. Let's be real. Qualifying for a house is really exciting, but nobody cares if you can qualify for a house if you're also not able to keep it. So by the end of this video, I'm going to teach you what debt to income is, how lenders use it to determine how much house you can get, and steps that you can take to reduce your debt to income so that you can qualify for more house. Make sure that you stay till the very end because I'm going to be sharing a special tool that I use with my clients exclusively so that they can reduce their debt and do so quickly and get the house within a year. If you're new here, my name is Shannon. I focus on helping individuals become first-time home buyers, and I do that by bridging the gap between your credit and your finances so that you can become home loan ready. If you haven't already done so, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and share this with a friend because we want to help as many people as we can become homeowners this year. What is debt to income? Debt to income, in simple terms, is the amount of debt that you have compared to the income that you have. They're going to go off of your gross income and they're going to go off the most minimum payment that you have for your debt. Let's say, for instance, you make $60,000 a year. That would look like $5,000 a month, right? 60,000 divided by 12 gives us $5,000 a month. Take whatever your debts are, divide it by that number, and that's going to give you a percentage. That percentage is what the lender looks at and what is called debt to income. Remember, your credit qualifies you for the home. Your debt to income determines how much house you can get. When the lender is looking at your debt to income, they are looking at the percentage based off of the loan type that you may be eligible to qualify for. They're not just pulling this number out of thin air. Each loan type, the numbers vary and it looks very different depending on the loan type that you're going to be able to qualify for. For instance, for FHA, that's going to be 43%. For USDA, that's 41%. For veterans loan, that's also going to be 41%. Conventional loan is 45%. When you look at these numbers, this is what they're looking for when they're qualifying you. This is why I said in the last video, a person can have a 750 credit score and still be denied for a home loan because their debt to income maybe wasn't what it needed to be. So, Shannon, what does this look like for me? And they're looking at the debt to income. They're not just only focusing on the percentages that we just talked about. Debt to income doesn't include things like childcare, gas, utilities, subscriptions, afterpay, Affirm, Klarna. I want to go out with my friends. I want to go and ball out on that trip, right? It doesn't include those things. You have to include those things. So when you're approved for a loan and you are getting approved for that higher threshold, because some loans can approve you at 50%, you have to be mindful of what you're doing on the day to day. How much will I have to change my lifestyle in order to accommodate this loan? I tell my clients, hey, don't go off what you think it could be. Go off exactly what it is today because things can get better and oftentimes it does. But you don't want to make a determination about owning a home based off what could be. You want to go off of what actually is. Let's look at some real numbers. Let's use FHA, for instance. A lot of people like to do FHA because it is the home loan that overlooks more credit issues. We said earlier that that is a 43% DTI or debt to income. So if you make $5,000 a month and if you qualify at 43% debt to income, then that's going to be $2,150 that the lender says that you can have in total debt. When we're talking about this amount, we're including what your potential mortgage payment would be. So if you have a $600 car payment, shave that off. If you have $400 in student loans, shave that off. So you're already looking at this from a different perspective. Be mindful of what your actual budget looks like. If you have childcare, if you have to worry about utilities, when you do have to pay gas, these numbers can add up quick. And I've added some here on the screen so that you can see what that could look like. So let's say that you do the 2150 for your DTI, say $1,000 worth of childcare, $1,000 worth of groceries, $500 worth of gas, $30 in subscriptions, $50 for Afterpay and Klarna, and $350 for utilities. That's tight. If I want to do anything, I might not be able to do that. So be mindful of these numbers. Now, if you were asking me, Shannon, well, okay, you're telling me these numbers, so what do I do? Look at your numbers, budget. If you have anything out there that you're spending a lot of money for that you really don't need, cut it now. Don't wait for a lender to tell you. If you know that you eat out and you spend $500 a month and that's not something that you can swing, cut back on eating out. If you know that you can use somebody else's subscription for one of the streaming networks, then do that. If you don't have to afterpay, don't afterpay because they consider that as a part of the debt load. So I probably shouldn't have listed that, but I did. So, these are all things that you have to consider when you are looking at what do I want to do compared to what does the lender say I can do. If you feel like, Shannon, look, I've cut my budget down to everything that it can be. This is the number that I'm looking to for debt to income. Look for a house that might not have all of the upgrades that you're looking for. Look for something that's structurally sound, but maybe you might have to do a little bit of something like paint or replace the floors. Maybe move to a different area. There's a lot of things to consider when you're looking at this. Now, if you're like, Shannon, hey, debt to income sounds great, but I'm not that great at math, no problem. I got you covered. We do have our debt to income improvement plan that we can provide you with your paid membership for credit monitoring. You can find that link down below. So you don't even have to worry about doing the math, and it will tell you exactly what to pay, when to pay, how much to pay, and when to do it so that you can maximize your credit scores while reducing your debt to income. If you need that, you should see that down in the description below. Let's say you've done everything you need to do. You know your debt to income, you've worked your budget, you've cut where you can, and you're like, hey, Shannon, I'm ready to move forward. Look for a lender that is okay with making sure that they give you a pre-approval for less than what you have. Have that number in mind, because any lender is going to ask you off as soon as they meet you. They're going to, hey, how you doing? After the pleasantries, they're going to say, do you have a mortgage payment in mind? You want to know that number. You don't want them to tell you the number. Be proactive. Don't be reactive. That's the most important thing that you can do as you're going through your home buying process. Already know your numbers, because when you know your numbers, it makes it easier. When you are put in a pressing position, it is easier for you to make a rash decision. And typically, when you're making a rash or rushed decision, you are going to regret it. If you've made it this far, thank you so much. You found value in this video. Make sure you comment below. Let me know what you think about this DTI conversation and debt to income. What's your ideal mortgage payment? Again, if you haven't already done so, make sure you comment, like, subscribe, and share this with a friend, as we will be releasing videos every week. If you want to be reminded, then go ahead and join my email list, and I'll make sure that you get it. I do have a first-time homebuyer workshop every first Tuesday of the month online. So if you're looking to buy a house and you're not quite sure what to do, then join me there. That link will also be posted below. Make sure you grab your seat, and I can't wait to hear more about you reaching your home buyer goals.